Under about 50 police officers, 40 black flags were raised by a small group of protesters at Tataran Merdeka on 17 July. WHO Director General admitted there was a premature push to rule out the lab theory as the origin of COVID-19. The arrest of former South African President Jacob Zuma this month has triggered looting and violence in South Africa, two most populous provinces aimed a record wave of COVID-19 infections on 13 July. A special report about online home-based business that's popular in recent years. A real-life story of a Malaysian boy who immigrated to Australia, a special report that's done by our reporter. For entertainment news, we have Sharifah Aisyah Reno, a 21-year-old Malaysian solo singer with her third single titled Nukilanku.
Welcome to UCSI TV News. I'm Myuk Chen. Under about 50 police officers, 40 black flags were raised under the shadow of Jalur Kebilang by a small group of protesters at Tataran Merdeka on 17 July.
40 black flags were waved in the breeze and effigies of 5 dead bodies wrapped in white shrouds were laid out at Tataran Merdeka as a part of a flash mob organized by Secretariat Solidarity Rakyat SSR on 17 July. During the protest, the youth were seen carrying black flags and urged Malaysians to continue to express their dismay toward the government and the way the pandemic has been handled. They also carried effigies of corpses wrapped in white shroud and tied at both ends, which is customary in Muslim burials to symbolize the increasing number of deaths in Malaysia due to the COVID-19. Accompanying the effigies was banner that read "Kita mati dalam derhaka," "We die in treason," with the hashtag Keluar dan Lawan, "Go out and fight." The banner was inspired by a poem by the late Kasim Ahmad which ended with the line, "Kian lama kita mati dalam setia, kali ini kita hidup dalam derhaka. For so long we have died in obedience, now we live in treason."
WHO Director General admitted there was premature push to rule out the lab theory as the origin of COVID-19.
In a briefing on COVID-19 in last week, Dr. Terrell said one of the challenges in COVID-19 origin study is too early to rule out the possibility of lab-led theory.
There was a premature push to, especially reduce one of the options like the lab theory. And I have worked in the lab, and lab accidents happen. It's common. I have seen it happening, and I myself had errors. So it can happen.
He said this to the media when asked besides lack of raw data, what are the other challenges in virus origin study? He said that the study of virus origin is important because they need to know what exactly happened in order to prevent the next one, and it is their responsibility to give an explanation to the millions of people who suffer and die in this pandemic. He further emphasized that he hoped there will be better cooperation in this chapter. This was the first time the WHO admitted that it has prematurely ruled out the theory of lab-led. In the report released by WHO around March of this year, after the first phase of the investigations conducted in China, the team suggested that it's extremely unlikely the virus was leaked from a lab in Wuhan, China.
The arrest of former South Africa President Jacob Zuma this month triggered looting in South Africa on 13 July. A mother and a daughter trapped in the building and she forced to throw her baby to the passerby from the building.
Due to the severe restorations in South Africa, a building in Durban, eastern South Africa was allegedly set on fire by looters. Mrs. Naledi, who was trapped in the building with her daughter, was forced to throw her baby from the building. In the video, you could see the mother manage to squeeze through a balcony area on the second floor, where she appeared to passerby for help. Fortunately, some kind-hearted passerby helped the mother and her daughter by forming a circle on the base ground to catch the baby. The mother then reunited with her daughter after being rescued by the passerby and neighbor with a ladder. The mother was being interviewed after the incident.
And I was like, yo, ngiyaqhubeka ukuthi ngisizakale. wasondela intombazane and ngangamthemba because ebeyedwa bahlangana abantu babaningi ngampost because bengithukele after sengimdedelele ngabamba ikhanda ukuthi yo bambamba into ekade sibalekile ukuthi enzakala ingane yami ukuthi ibe out laphaya because ngihamba wayengitshelile gogo ukuthi angingahambi since kanje because sizostaka ngaleya. So nje bese ngithi nje mephumile because iyona into ekade singistress ukuthi ngaphakathi and angikwazi ukubaleka ngingedwa. Bela bethi mama umphosile mama umphosile lapha angiphosa phansi. So nje besaba because nasebusukuze waphaphama bethuka ke phaphama esheke.
She expressed that despite the overwhelming fear she had of the burning building, she had to trust the passerby by throwing the baby to them in order to save her baby. Meanwhile, the current president of South Africa was pleaded for calm from the authorities to stop this riot.
Today we have JC here to share her experience on her online home-based business. Hi JC, is this your first time to start an online home-based business?
Yes, it's my first time starting an online home-based business.
Since this is your first time, did you face any difficulties when you're just starting your business?
Yes. So I think this is really common in new online home-based business. So it's quite hard to get discovered by people as a new account. So you need to learn some social media skills and social media managing skills, to get noticed by people and to create value so that people will follow you and potentially become your customers.
So what makes you want to start this business?
I am actually a food student, just finished my first year in the UK studying the bachelor's in food and consumer studies. So I had to stop my studies because of coronavirus. So I came back to Malaysia. And there's this 1 year gap between my first and second year. So I just started this business to not just do nothing during my gap year. I also think that I would learn a lot from it, from starting this business.
So do you have any advice for those people who want to start an online business like you?
For people who want to start an online business like me, I would advise them to just start and just do it because it doesn't cost anything to create an account. So if you have a product that you believe in and you know how to get it to your customers, then just do it and you can work from there.
Okay, thank you, Josie, for your sharing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Whoever wants to start an online home-based business, we hope you can give it a try. Like what JC said, it does not cost anything and you will learn along the way. Next, we will be looking at the special report of the differences between living in Malaysia and Australia that report by our reporter Wen Qi.
Thank you, Chen. Over the years, we would sometimes hear people talking about wanting to migrate into another country, whether it is for an experience in a new environment or planning for their future. However, immigrating to another country may have a lot of difficulties. For example, the cultural differences, language barriers, and different climate issues. So next on UCSI TV News, we have an exclusive interview with Darren who have migrated to Australia when he was 16. His story would tell us what was it like for him to experience living in Malaysia and also Australia. Hi Darren, thank you for allowing us to interview you. So we've known you've migrated to Australia. How long has it been since you immigrated there?
Hi, I've immigrated to Australia for about 5 years now, and I have been living in Perth since 2016.
I see. So it's been quite a long time, right? So why did you first migrated to Australia?
Well, the main purpose is mainly for education. Me and my family first decided to immigrate to Australia since about 2014 maybe. And my parents believed that by migrating to Australia, which is like a change of studying environment, will benefit me and my sister in the future.
So you've experienced both the education environment in Malaysia and Australia, right?
That's correct.
So I wanted to know what is the biggest difference between these two countries, like the cultural difference or the lifestyle there. Is it very big of a difference?
That is correct. The difference is actually quite big. So in terms of the culture here is mainly multicultural, even though it's supposed to be multicultural, but it's also the most important one would definitely be like the Caucasian culture that they started with. So yeah, it's quite different compared to the lifestyle I had in Malaysia. And also in terms of the studying section, studying here is more relaxed compared to studying in Malaysia. So obviously that I have studied in Malaysia before. So I've studied high school in Malaysia. I studied in Kuan Ching High School. The studying method there is also really different compared to the studying method here in Australia. So in Australia, it's more of a self-paced, a slower pace, and it's more of a critical thinking based method of studying as well. So it's not just about memorizing stuff that you learn in school and then just write it out.
So did you struggle, because I see there's quite a big difference, right?
Yes, that's right. We came here about 5 years ago. The culture was really, really different compared to Malaysia. So we had to adapt quite a bit before we managed to fit in, make friends and all that stuff.
Okay, so last question, yeah. How is the COVID-19 situation there? Because now in Malaysia, right, it is quite bad.
Yes, I've heard of that, and it's quite unfortunate for you guys. For Perth, it's actually quite okay, because for the past 2 years, there haven't been many cases at all, which we are really thankful for. Perth is really good at making sure that the COVID situation is under control. So it really helped that, and it's also really helped that the people in Australia are really cooperative and they are willing to follow the rules as well, given by the government.
Okay, that's good, that's good. So, all right, thank you for your time. I've learned quite a lot from what you have told me of the difference between Malaysia and Australia. So I hope you had a great day. Bye.
You too, thank you.
So that is all from me. I'm Wenqi from UCSI TV News. And now back to the studio.
Moving on to entertainment news, we have 21 years old Malaysian solo singer Aisyah Reno queued with her third single titled Nukilanku.
Sharifah Aisyah Reno Sipulism, born on 2001st of August, is a 21 years old Malaysian female singer. She is best known for a popular song, Biding the Soul. In addition, she is also one of the amateur singers of Walker Mania. Recently, Aisyah has released her third single titled Nukilanku. Her vocal and the meaning of the song have amazed the public. We managed to interview her thought and what she has to share from her latest singer song. Let's hear what she says.
Hi there, I am Aisyah Reno and I am the singer for Nukilanku. Nukilanku is my third single. So Nukilanku basically is an original soundtrack for this Masih Ada Rindu drama. It's called Masih Ada Rindu at TV3. And since I'm given a chance to write my own lyrics for this Nukilanku song, so I refer to this synopsis drama and also the characters, and I am blown away with this one character called Hadi, because Hadi is currently having like a trouble in love, waiting for his love to be mutual between the girl and himself. So that's why I refer to him as a point of view for my Nukilanku song. Basically, Nukilanku tells a story of how teenager is waiting for the love to be mutual and when is the right time for them to be in love. So that is basically it. It's a sad story because, you know, you're waiting for the love to come back to you, and until when you're still waiting and waiting. So that's why you see the lyrics, detik demi detik ku hitung. So something like that. So that is Nukilanku. Well, speaking of the message that I am trying to convey to the audience and also listeners who is currently listening to Nukilanku, since I'm writing the lyrics also, what I'm trying to relate the most is love is actually really, really confusing and really, really complicated. This song is, speaking of the message, it's not very much of a different compared to other songs that you listen, sad love songs, sad love story, because it tells us that love is a process that you have to trust. Sometimes we feel that love is too good to be true, but then here in Nukilanku's song, it warns us and reminds us that love is actually not really too good to be true. It actually can be filled with a lot of things like jealousy, curiosity, and that is applicated by what Nukilanku is trying to tells the story. So as you can listen to the song, you can listen to the chorus, namun belahan ku jiwamu takkan pernah ku lupa dia yang kau cinta. Yeah, that line tells us that love can be filled with jealousy, with patience also, with curiosity. But then Hadi also tells us in the Nukilanku song that despite he is filled with anger and jealousy, he is still waiting for the love to be answered by the girl. So that is basically it. What I'm trying to convey by the message is, trust the process, trust the love life that you're going through, and all is good.
Aisha is one of the rising solo artists in Malaysia. We wish her all the best and look forward to hearing more of her song. That's all for today. Thank you for watching UCSI TV News. I'm Yuk Chen. Goodbye.